Hey guys, Mason here, Cardinal Gaming. Appreciate you clicking on the video, supporting the channel, support the store like you guys always do. Today I want to talk about the PSA UK Ludkins situation and hopefully give you guys some more perspective on it from like a business perspective. Try to give you guys some more information about how I see things and why ultimately it's a I feel a bad situation for everybody involved. Including Ludkins PSA UK on their end. It's a feel bad moment because it was if you know the details, but let's go through it and let's talk about it. So PSA UK is a middleman service that was over there in the UK. Basically, PSA came along and said, hey, we're gonna put your name and put our name on you, and you kind of champion these submissions from UK. And it's going to be great. Everybody's going to get money, and it's going to be great. They gave him a really sweet deal of $60 per cards, and then literally a week later, put out a discounted rate for the exact same thing that they were doing for $18. So that's a bummer for them. But really is interesting how these business deals come across, and it was just from a Ludkins standpoint, it was really red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. If you read both the dispositions from them and what they were talking about, it was very much PSA kind of stringing them along and kind of giving them false hopes and false information to sustain this business. And it kind of really put Ludkins in a hard spot when you're PSA UK. If the submissions stop coming in because PSA shut down or whatever, you can't just send off to CGC now that you have the PSA branding. That's not a thing. So yeah, you kind of Ludkins really put all their eggs in that one basket, and that's why my store is the way it is. And I'm not just a Pokemon store, I'm not just a TCG store, I'm not just a video game store, I'm not just a board game, I'm not a D&D anime. I have all these things diversified to protect myself. If something falls off, if something loses popularity, if some business implodes on itself and stops making product, that I can continue to produce and have an income and hopefully be able to pivot to where I can fill that void with other things that might be making me money. So that's what happens when you crown yourself PSA UK, and you really are just wholly committed to them at that point. It's a bummer to see that Ludkins thought they were gonna get a payday and get paid, and he was gonna be the CEO of PSA UK, and it's gonna be a branch of the UK, and bet on PSA for like giving them that thought, or like even like, hey, if something happens, we're gonna help you out, no worries, because clearly they were not in that same mindset where they were gonna be trying to help them out if something happens. And yeah, he thought he was going to get a buyout, and he was going to be an official branch, just like they would have an official branch for France or Spain or South America, whatever. It's just that was not the case, and there definitely was some miscommunication or some maybe misdirection on both sides. But it feels bad. It feels bad for Ludkins, for real, because when you set yourself up like that, and you have to sustain your business. Like if you are ramping up because things are crazy, and then the faucet of money gets turned off when PSA stop taking submissions or whatever, you are still obligated to those expenses. And I don't think this was a situation where they were, they took the money and ran. It's not that. I think they were trying to do right and ramp up their business to, you're going to be a branch of PSA. You should probably have all the nicest stuff and do good customer service and have people for PR and all that stuff. And the faucet of money got turned off. They weren't able to sustain themselves because you have no income after that. They didn't make any money after submissions stopped coming in. So what are you to do? What if you go and lease an office space, or you lease a warehouse, or if you lease other equipment or things like that you have to pay for? It becomes a bad situation when all your income comes to a grinding halt. And again, that's the risk of putting yourself kind of in a marriage to another business. You're totally at the whim of them. You know, if I was just a Pokemon store and Pokemon said, nope, we're not going to do hobby store stuff anymore. The organized play Pokemon program is going to be shut down, and we're just going to sell through Target and Amazon. And if you want to play at your kitchen table. We're not running events anymore. That would be terrible for me because of how much my business is Pokemon. But yeah, there's tons of people that would affect, and other businesses out there that would be affected by that type of decisions. And that's, again, the risk you take when you marry yourself to such a product and you really go all in on something that you really have no control over at the end of the day. And even when the shutdown was happening, I was talking about, well, maybe I should middleman some stuff and send stuff to PSA for people, charge a couple bucks a card and all that. It's just nope, bad idea. That sucks. So much liability, insurance. If something happens, the headaches for it, and being responsible for thousands of dollars worth of stuff, tens of thousands of dollars worth of stuff, depending on how many people would submit through me. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. At the end of the day, those couple bucks a card is not going to be a huge factor for my business, and it's not worth it. So I can see why that kind of business propped up when things were booming. But again, once the faucet of money gets turned off, it's not sustainable. That's not something that you can appropriately scale out of or scale down out of if that is your entire business. So it feels bad. It feels bad for real for PSA UK, for Ludkins over there. It's rough. I do feel like they were trying to do right, and they got duped a little bit by PSA, and PSA maybe gave them some false ideas of what was going to happen, and it never happened. And you ran out of money. That's how it goes. So that's the dry version of that story, and I do not think this is going to be the first. This is not the first. Obviously, we saw Mark's Cards and other businesses stumble along the way because business was good and now it's not so good. And this isn't the first one. Like with their situation, the money that you made over the boom period is going to run out. It's not going to be something that is sustainable at this point. And no matter how much you scale, no matter how much you advertise and how good you did, if you keep living and having the expenses that you do, it's going to fall apart. And that's something that I as a business am struggling with as well. We went and got a warehouse, and we had to get out of that lease because the money just wasn't justifiable at that point because of the way that things have trailed off this year. I've had to lay off employees. I've had to do a lot of things that I did not want to do, and scaling my business up and then now ramping it back down. It's not a good thing. It's not a fun situation, but we all knew that sort of situation wasn't sustainable. It wasn't going to be for the long term. So that's kind of the situation that I'm in, and the situation in, and that's just how these boom and periods can really affect your business in a negative point when that boom goes kaboom. It's probably not. That's not a phrase, is it? Well, that's a good spot to end it. Appreciate you guys watching the video, supporting the channel, supporting the store. Live breaks soon. If you guys haven't signed up for that, you can with Silver Tempest. It is out on Monday for Play Pokemon stores. So if you want a piece of that action, go ahead and go to the website and go figure all that out. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video. Appreciate y'all. Goodbye.